Welcome to Demoshell Entertainment and Fashion TV show. I'm your host, Sunny, and we're very excited to present to you a very talented and multifaceted guest, Tyshawn Jamison. Tyshawn, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Sunny?
I'm doing very well, thank you. We're so excited and honored to have you on our show tonight.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. Well, did you know that Tyshawn is an actor, a model, a director, a writer, and he's created 3 films so far and working on a 4th film.
Yes.
And we're so excited to learn about his story, how this all started, how he got into modeling, and how that led to acting. Let's dive right into it.
Yes.
Tyshawn, so we hear you're from Brooklyn, New York,
Yes.
How did this whole journey start for you?
Ooh, it started as modeling.
Okay.
I moved back from to New York from North Carolina after high school, and I pursued modeling. That's when I met Demoshell, who pretty much helped me, with the knowledge of the industry too. And I was featured on her magazine, and it just went from there. I did a couple of shows and photo shoots and featured in certain things, and after that I just felt like I wanted more, and that's when I started acting. Did a couple of things acting, and then I pursued writing and then directing, and then it birthed my 3 short films that's on Amazon Prime right now.
That's great. Before we dive into your films, what kind of writing do you do? What kind of acting have you done? Tell us more about the different roles you may have.
So as far as writing, I'm more into like awareness films. I like a message to be told. I don't want it to just be like, oh, look at me, I'm an actor or I'm a writer. So my 3 films are towards awareness. I have domestic violence, which is Discord. I have deception, which is mental health awareness, and I have passion, which is safe sex, know your status awareness films. So yeah, I lean more towards the awareness.
Very important social causes.
Yes.
Why these kind of causes? How did you end up nurturing these through your art?
So I just feel like it just constantly need to be told. Mental health is a big thing, especially with the pandemic. It brought it to a rise. I also work in healthcare. I work at New York Presbyterian Hospital, so I see it. So I wanted to bring awareness to it. So that was one of the targets.
Thank you for talking about that, and especially during the pandemic, we realized how important mental health and stability is. We don't like to talk about it. It's almost always
it's a hard topic.
Behind the doors kind of a discussion, and there's no shame in accepting everybody needs help.
There's no shame in it.
And you're bringing it out through your films and through your art. That's very exciting. What was your first project?
My first, well, all 3 of them was. I wrote all 3 at the same time, and I actually shot them. Because 2 of them is 9 minutes. My longest one is 19 minutes. So I was able to shoot all of them in one day, which I would never do again. Don't do that.
That's exciting.
It was a lot of work, but I got it done. I got it done.
Are the stories entwined, or the independent stories?
So 2 of them are connected, but I'm not gonna release that. I'm gonna let you guys check that out to try to figure out which ones they are.
And they're all available on Prime Video?
Yes, they're all on Amazon Prime. Under Ty Perception, TYPERCEPTION.
Perception. Great. So that covers modeling, writing, acting, producing, and directing.
It's so interesting. When I created Ty Perception, that's my name as an artist too. I didn't want to box it, so I was like, I want Ty Perception to be, my modeling, my acting, my writing, my directing, so I went with that, and now that I have a production company, Ty Perception, I'm producing films, which is my 3 films was produced under my company.
Now, does your childhood, your personal story, that's translate to these social causes you pick up, or I'd love to really understand your emotional journey?
It's more of just being aware of what's going on around me. Friends and family, and just realizing these issues and wanting to bring forth awareness to it.
Are you close to your family?
I am.
Tell us about your family.
So they're in North Carolina. Everyone is actually my siblings. I have god sisters here, family here, but I have a sister in LA, a sister in Atlanta, but everyone is usually in North Carolina right now.
And are they part of your story narrative, or they're just not?
Of course, family is always, that they drove me to like continue to work to be a better person of myself and to create generational wealth. That's my goal. You know?
I'm an aspiring writer myself, so we'd love for you to, share some writing tips to your audience about what are some of your thought processes behind capturing a story from your head and translate it into a script.
The best thing advice I could give you as a writer is to go out and just observe life. Sometimes I just go to a park and I just look at the way people interact with one another, and like I try to like create a story for them. Just go out and just, it may feel like stalkerish, just not really. Just don't be too obvious, but just, go out and just watch people and just, speak to your friends and know their story and try to get a better understanding of how they cope with it and dealt with it. And just, you can really create, because, you're not coming from a place of not really knowing. You're really coming from a place of knowing a story and knowing how it started and ended. So that's where I come from.
Thank you for sharing that. That's actually a great tip, and that's great advice. I would completely agree with that. New York City is such a heavy, densely populated city, and I find myself, getting coffee or having a glass of wine after work, and people watching is one of my favorite things to do. Like wondering what their story is, and where they're rushing to, where they're coming from. And that's a great way of starting to create stories around people, and that builds the storyline.
Yes.
That's great. What is your latest pet project? What movie, TV, what kind of work are you
like creating? As of right now?
Yeah.
So right now I'm working on an awareness film called Awake. It's to raise awareness for kids who have to take on parenting at a young age. It's usually the older sibling that has to step up and be that parent, due to whatever reason that, the parents are not there. It could be because of death, or it could be a drug addiction. It could be whatever the circumstance may be. I want to show that in the film and just bring awareness to them.
That's so interesting. Yeah. Why this particular storyline? Who inspired you?
So I have a couple friends that raised their siblings, and it's even working in healthcare. You see these kids come in with their siblings, and you're thinking to yourself, where's mom? Or just being in parks and you see the older brother or older sister with their little brother, and it's just like, I just really want to bring awareness to it and just and give them a shout out and let them know, like, we see you,
That's very astute observational, I must say. Just everyday stories of what you're trying to bring through.
Yes,
and that's really wonderful.
Important.
I think my mom would love this film because she herself raised 7 of her younger siblings.
Wow.
Because her parents were busy raising the big household. So this is such a great storyline, it looks like.
Yeah.
Is the movie ready?
So I'm on my second draft. So usually as a writer, it depends. You could go through how many drafts you want. For me, I'm targeting 3. So after this draft, my third one is going to be the final one, and I can go into production with the project.
So if he's casting, go to his Instagram and keep a lookout for the next casting.
Actually, we'll be casting and looking for a lot of even hair and makeup, anyone who works light, sound, set, whatever.
Right. That's good. Now, you said you made 3 films in the same day.
Yes.
Talk to us about that
journey. So I shot
journey.
3 films. So it was a headache, actually. I'm not even going to sit here and say it was rainbows and butterflies, because it definitely wasn't. But you have to realize whenever you're working towards something, there's always going to come obstacles and frustration. It's just how you deal with it. And I've learned that shooting those 3 projects, it's times where, like, for instance, my videographer was like 4 hours late.
Wow.
And I'm renting this space.
Of course, that changes the
so
dynamic.
it just, but you just can't focus on the issue. You have to, like, just be ready for a solution and just go forward with that. And my director quit on me the day of the shoot.
Wow. Due
to, whatever reasons that, he felt like, he should have more say in my script. And I was like, I'm hiring you to show and birth what you see on my script.
creative
you know.
differences.
So he pretty much quit on the same day, and I was like, you know what? At first I was gonna just like cancel the whole thing and I was just on some forget it.
Right.
I'm over it, you know. But I was like, I directed myself, and that's what birthed my directing skills. I directed my 3 short films.
And you pushed forward.
I pushed forward.
That's amazing. And did you plan to shoot all 3 films the same day?
Yes, I did, because I timed the script.
Okay.
And I timed everything. I had a timesheet, so that's how it worked out. But you know,
Excellent.
4 hours late with my videographer and then the director, it just threw everything off. But it all worked out, and you know, because I didn't give up, now my films are on Amazon Prime, which is why I tell people to just keep moving forward. Like, don't second guess yourself so much. You know, continue to put God first and consult Him in everything you do. And because of it, I have been places I would never thought I would be. You know.
That's amazing.
You know, so.
That's, the spirituality play a big role in your everyday life.
Yes. God before that's my motto. God before everything.
I love that.
Before how I feel, what I'm going through. You know, because He's my source and resource.
I think if we as a species did that and stopped and paused for a moment in gratitude, we would be a lot different.
Yes.
Yeah, as a race. Yeah.
We'll understand each other more because we
Definitely.
know to have patience and to love and forgive one another.
That's really wonderful. That must have given you the strength to push through and make these 3 films in the same day despite having so many obstacles.
Yes.
That's a great story right there. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Appreciate that.
Are you, when are you planning to go into production mode for your next
So
script?
I'm looking towards, it's always good to give yourself a timeline because sometimes we can get comfortable in what we're doing. I'm giving myself November.
Okay.
I'm giving myself November. But at the same time, you should never rush.
True.
You should never rush your project. You should just always take your time and make sure you're doing the research. You're doing everything you're supposed to do as either the writer or the director or the actor or whatever your role may be. You know, just make sure you never rush, and you know.
You can't rush creation.
You cannot rush creation.
Nature takes its own time.
You can't. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else in the pipeline after this project, or this is your primary focus right now?
So right now I do, but I like to, because I tend to jump from one project to another, which is not good.
Okay.
So right now I'm just focusing on this right now, but I do have some things lined up.
That's wonderful. Yeah. What are some of your challenges you're facing in trying to birth this project into film?
It's always the finance area. I'm a full-time employee.
Okay.
I fund my own projects. So that's usually the holdup sometimes, and that's usually the issue, you know. So. And
how can our audience and interested fans contribute to your creative journey? Where can they find you? Yes, definitely. So you can actually go to www.ty/perception.com, which is ty/perception, and you'll see a subscription list, and you can actually donate money too to the films. Tyshawn, that's so lovely. Thank you. Now, if you were to pick one of these 4 projects as your favorite showcase, which one would it be? I would say Discord. Discord? Yeah. Let's take a break and dive into that as your showcase. Talk to your audience about Discord, why you chose Discord, what was your, the inspirational story behind that storyline, and what to expect in the movie, and your creative journey through that production. Dive into it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right.
So, who would like to start?
I'll start. Sometimes I feel like you don't see how much I love you. Like, what I say doesn't matter. Like, I can never have my own options or opinions. I can never do anything right. You look at me in ways that scare me.
Open this door. So let me get this right. You think I'm trying to push your friends away? And you're scared of me?
Please stop. Please stop. Please stop.
Tyshawn, wow, that was intense. So tell us about Discord. Why this theme? What really transpired in your personal life to pick domestic violence and domestic abuse as a theme for a movie?
So I do have friends that dealt with that.
Okay.
And it's out there, you know, like I mentioned before, I'm awake. I know about these. I see it at work all the time. You can see it on the streets. Like you see it, it's visible. And
Have
even
you personally been a part of a setup like that?
No. But I, close friends, you're in it. Like, you know, your family, like you know, you feel like you're involved because, you know, it's not much you can do because it's totally up to the person that's being abused to make that decision to choose himself. As much as you help and give advice and talk to them for hours and pray with them, you know, they have to choose themselves and make that decision. So I wanted to bring awareness to that and show how a man pursued a woman and how, you know, he was this ideal of a man in her eyes, and then, you know, when he finally got her, it switched, which usually tends to happen, and everything happened behind closed doors. There was the ideal couple, you know, very successful from the outside view, but behind closed doors, there was a lot going on, you know, and towards the end, you know, I want you guys to check it out. I don't want to go too much.
For sure, and thank you. I mean, over the last year, particularly in the pandemic, who knows what really happens behind closed doors with so many cultures where it's patriarchal societies, and that's really a very powerful topic to bring to the audience.
And even during the pandemic, it was worse because a lot of resources was like cut short. Women that wanted help couldn't get help because during the pandemic everything was shut down. So I constantly looked at the numbers for domestic violence and mental health, and it was just so high, you know, and it was sad. It was sad.
Were there any particular friends in your inner circle that went through a similar such story and that inspired you to write about this, or was it just general observation?
It was just, general, just looking at everything.
Okay.
Most of my friends got out of it, but I just really needed to tell this story. I just really needed people to know that this does happen. And, you know, I got, you know, after writing and finishing it, I got a little bit of pushback about a lot of people are tired of seeing black film being portrayed like that, but just because it's not your story does not mean it shouldn't be told. It's still a story that should be told, you know, regardless how you feel about it and regardless of what your opinion is about it. People are still going through this, and we should not just turn a shun eye from it. You know, we should definitely tell the story.
Irrespective of our skin color, domestic
definitely.
Violence and abuse and mental health are issues that permeate across all human beings.
Right. It's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. You know, it's just, we just need to realize it's an issue. And one of the things I would even tell my friend that was going through domestic violence is, you know, not only are you hurting yourself, you're hurting the abuser, because you're staying in it, you're letting him know this is okay. When you might be the reason, you leaving him might be the reason he go and get help. He might go see a therapist.
True.
He recognizes his flaws, you know? So I just feel like it's a domino effect, you know? So
you hope to deliver a positive takeaway through your films and through your art for people to,
that's one of my
even
goals.
if it's find help, go and ask for help. So that's a lot of times we don't even ask for help. We just bear it on the inside.
Our pride and our ego will destroy us, you know? It's okay to need help. It's okay to see a therapist. It's okay to admit you have an issue, have a problem.
Of course.
Like, you know, one of the best things you can do is to be vulnerable and to tell someone I need help. I'm not okay. You know, what I'm doing is not okay. I don't know how to fix it, and someone can guide you, you know, and I'm big on God. I pray every day, every morning, you know, so I know that God got these resources there for us, you know. Everything is not spiritual. And I tell people that, go see a therapist. Go get those meds.
There's nothing wrong with seeking help.
Go get that help. And that's what I believe, and I know.
So very emotionally heavy topics you address in your everyday artistic life. How does Tyshawn, the person, disconnect from your artistic world, and how do you recuperate your
I run.
Okay.
I do a lot of running. Working out is very therapeutic for me.
Okay. And you pray every day.
I
you're saying?
pray. Yes, God is. I lean towards Him on everything. How I feel. I'm honest with Him. I'm very honest with Him, and that's the point of prayer, to be
love
honest. And I can't take it on. So I run. I work out. You know, I take a moment to myself, and I just decompress. And just because I am the actor playing the abuser in the film, and even on set, I had to take a moment to just because I just felt that's just not me, and it was really, really hard to play that.
Correct.
But I needed to bring it to life, to show people this is what's really going on, and it was a hard shoot for everybody on set.
How did you get into that character, since you haven't played a role like that as an abuser necessarily?
Well, that's what, as an actor, is character building.
Okay.
Like, reading the script is not just about reading it. You have to really understand that person's story, bring that person to life. You know, you have to know where he's from. Did he have siblings? Was he close with his mother or father? You know, he was abused. If you can target the issue, you can create it within the character and bring it to life.
That's great.
Yeah.
So it must have been a very heavy set. How do you keep it light in between?
Yeah, I would on cuts crack jokes and even though I'm feeling what they're feeling, because I'm in charge of the set, because I am the writer still. I am still the director. I just had to make sure everyone was good. You know, I would play music and joke around with them, and talk with them, how you feel, you good, especially the lead actress, are you okay, because I'm big on people being comfortable on my set, and just that matters.
True.
People have to be comfortable, have to know one another and communicate with one another. To art, you can't just, art flows better when you're in a comfortable space.
Of course.
So.
How do you, I'm just curious, about so many things. Do you normally shut off from your family and friends when you're in your creative zone of writing and
well,
the script to life?
Yeah and no. I have my moments where I just, I write, but I just can't be distracted. So I would cut my phone on, I put on Do Not Disturb or something like that, just to let it flow, let it flow. But sometimes it's always good to speak to someone and be like, I'm writing and I think I'm stuck on this part, and I would give them a little synopsis of what's going on, and they would say something. I'd be like, oh, you don't even realize how much you helped me.
Light bulb goes off.
So it's not always for some people. Everyone's different, but I think it's 50-50 for me.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of other projects, are there any other social causes? Is there anything else you're thinking of? I'm just curious to understand what kind of genres you're looking at.
It's so many, actually.
Yeah.
It's so many. I have a list. I haven't decided which one yet.
What are your top 3 next topics you want to address?
Top 3 is it's a hard one. Actually, it's sex trafficking.
Okay, powerful.
I think that's actually the next one. Sex trafficking is going to be my next awareness film.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big one too.
It is a big one, and
that's a big global topic.
I'm still praying on it though. Like I said before, I don't do anything without God's go. And I speak to my pastor. You have to be accountable to someone, and he's my spiritual father, and I talk to him about everything, and it's places that I get booked for, and I'd be like, what you think about this? And I pray about it, and if he say, I don't know about that, and I wouldn't take the job.
Interesting.
Because everything is not sent by God. Sometimes it's a distraction. It's to throw you off, and I definitely put God before everything.
That's important,
Yeah.
to be spiritually and centrally connected to.
Yeah. You have to,
to
especially in
cosmos.
this day and time.
Yeah.
People are hurting, and hurt people.
Yeah, for sure. And that trend continues.
Yes.
So safe to assume these social causes are very important to you, and that's what your art's going to be revolving around, at least in the now.
Definitely, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Not nothing romantic comedy, love style.
No, definitely. I will be touching
or-
those.
okay.
I will be touching those. I'm actually in a film. My home girl is She wrote a film and she's directing, and I'm actually one of the lead actors in her comedy. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's great. Talk to us about that role.
I mean, I can't.
Oh, you can't.
But
of course, yeah.
I will be letting you guys know when everything is released.
It's so exciting. We're so excited to follow your journey. You can follow him on Instagram. A lot more projects coming up. Very excited for your movie. Good luck on the release.
Sonny.
And we're so excited to see where your November casting comes up.
Yes, and I want to just say thank you to Demo Shell for allowing me to come on. I've been knowing her for years, and I'm just so proud of her. I appreciate it so much, and I love you dearly.
Thank you so much, D. Michelle Entertainment and Fashion TV Show. It's so honored to share your story with its audience, and good luck on everything.
Appreciate it, Sonny.
Thank you so much. That was an exciting show. Thank you for staying with us. Not just Tyshawn Jamison, D. Michelle Entertainment and Fashion TV Show is also currently looking at sponsors and producers for the show. If you're interested in contributing to D. Michelle magazine, which is coming up in the next month, you're welcome to contribute or sponsor. You can Venmo D. Michelle directly or reach her out at Cash App at $DMO1960. Thank you for staying with us, and we're right here with Tyshawn Jamison. Have a lovely night.
Take care, guys.